So our next topic, we're going to talk about the Lakers. You know, I know they're 5 games into the season. It's not like every single thing that happens right now is a complete indictment on a team. So let me say that. One second. Yeah, like I don't think that what happens right now in the season is a total indictment, right? But they started off strong. They started off strong with 3 consecutive home wins, which I think it was great for their fans and it was great for their ball club. They had a controversial hire in JJ Redick. And when you couple that with Bronny James purse snatching from anyone who's actually a qualified NBA player and from the Lakers organization, it's a recipe for being under duress. Everyone is on their ass, and I'm one of them. With that said, I knew I would be right there to pick apart the failures as quickly as I could congratulate the success. So JJ Redick, he looked like a player's coach in those first 3 games. It was all sweet, right? Looked like a cute little honeymoon that he was having with himself and LeBron and the guys on the squad. And you know, it seemed like he was just really trying to exude, I'm a player's coach. And I'm the smartest guy in the game, right? So fast forward to game 4 of the season against Phoenix, they lose that game, right? So I want to play what JJ Redick had to say about their first road loss to Phoenix.
In the game.
Said we wanted to be a process team. I liked our process tonight. I like the way we started the game. We talked about getting off to a great start, similar to how they played us on Friday in LA. We did that. I like our level of competition and compete on the defensive end. They put you in a lot of tough spots, and they have some elite individual shot makers. And I have to go watch it, but felt like in some ways we lost to Kevin Durant and Devin Booker's ability to make tough twos. Thought our execution down the stretch was phenomenal. There's one thing to nitpick. It's probably me. I probably should have gone to the fire a possession or 2 earlier against KD. But I liked that group that we had out there defensively. I trust those guys. And then the other thing I would say is, like, we should never have a 14-point quarter. So that's on me as well. That's part of that is me. I got to make sure we're running good offense. Felt like it was a little random. We got stalled out. We talked about it at halftime. For us to be a high-level offense, we've got to move bodies and we've got to move the ball. And that they got a screen, and they just kind of took us out of what we were doing initially, and we were great in the second half. We executed great in the second half. It just, that second quarter really hurt us.
And that you mentioned fire. You just mean like blitzing Durant later? Is that, yeah? Okay.
When LeBron touched on this free throw, what was your vantage point of that? And is that something in your short amount of time you guys been together you've been able to ever do in a practice or anything?
We communicated that. Yeah. So everybody that was on the floor knew what was happening, and it was an insane miss, to be honest with you. I don't know that I've ever seen an intentional miss that hit the bottom of the rim and then went straight down. Look, we had no timeouts. It was a choice that we made. I think that's the right choice, and I'd make that choice again. With that amount of time, they fouled up 3. So even if we fouled earlier on that play, they've got, great free throw shooters. They're going to foul us again. So we had to get that. We had to get that possession for us to have a chance to tie or win the game.
JJ, another choice. With 40 seconds or so to go, you guys had that timeout and you drew up that play for Austin. Got him a really good look there. What was kind of the 2-3 sort of calculus in that moment?
We would have been fine with either.
You mentioned the overall process, 80s first quarter. Just kind of what did you see in terms of the shots you guys were creating for him, and how did Phoenix adjust to try and make that harder on him, I guess, as the game went on?
I don't really know that they made it harder on him. I thought when we were intentional about getting the ball, we did. Some of the stuff in that first quarter wasn't even us spoon feeding him. It was a lot, transition, running the floor, got a couple layups off D-low passes.
He liked the process. He gives credit to KD and his lethal mid-range shooting. What I did like is that he blamed himself. Excuse me. He discussed the lack of offense in the fourth quarter. He talked about not moving the ball, not making defensive adjustments for Kevin Durant. These were all great points, in my opinion. He was honest about his mistakes, and he didn't throw any players under the bus. So I have no real issue with his answers, how he approached this, post-game press conference. But to lose the first road game to a team you already beat just a few days prior, it shows that they will struggle on the road. I thought it was hilarious when he mentioned not moving the ball, because that was LeBron's fault. They had great ball movement throughout most of the game until LeBron was upset that he wasn't getting the ball. And when he decided to take over the game and score his points and assert his will, it changed the trajectory of the entire game. He was shooting bricks to try to get to double digits, and he finally knocked one down in the fourth. He was missing layups. He didn't look great in JJ's offense against Phoenix, where they clearly were running it through Anthony Davis. The team seemed just, by the lack of ball movement, they seemed to be refusing to set screens for LeBron, even when he was calling for it. There was a moment where I saw him begging for the screen. He was literally moving his hands, telling his teammates to come and give him a screen. He wanted his usual high screen, and he was frustrated. You could see it all over his face that he was frustrated that he was not getting that high screen so that he can do what? Bum rush the lane. It's interesting to me that people didn't catch that. They refuse to set his high screen at damn near half court so that he could bum rush the lane, because they have agreed as a team not to play that way and to move the damn ball. These moments were just flat out awful to watch. JJ, he also addressed LeBron going 3 for 13. He's never scored less than 10 points in a game in over 15 seasons. I hear JJ sort of making excuses for this. He had 6 points headed into the fourth quarter, and it's because he doesn't play best off the ball. Let's see. Do I have that soundbite to play? I think I do.
JJ, it's rare to see LeBron in single digits that late into a game. He obviously hits the big three to kind of keep the game close, but goes 3 for 14. What did you see from him offensively?
Yeah, I would say for him and our group, to be honest with you, we missed a lot of paint twos, and for him, those are shots that he makes. He had in the fourth, he had that miss on the lefty lay and missed a couple of those one-leggers that were right there in the paint. I thought we gave him the space. They were very intentional about flooding when he was on that ISO on either wing. So something we probably need to talk about how we want to combat that against teams that do that. But I thought our spacing was, for the most part, really good. There was a clip we showed at halftime where we didn't get to our proper spacing, but other than that, I felt like we gave him space on those ISOs, and
If you guys obviously had the big run.
Like I said, it was, I don't know if you guys remember these moments in the fourth quarter. I mean, he was trying to take over this game and change the entire style of offense back to Bron ball because he had 6 points headed into the fourth quarter. He shot brick after brick. Finally, he hit that three. I believe he missed the layup, got the foul, missed one free throw, and hit one, so that left him with 7. And then at some point, he finally hits a three after bricking like 2 or 3 of them. I think we should move on to the next game against the Cavaliers. So we fast forward to yesterday's game at Cleveland, and this is LeBron's hometown. This is Bronny's birthplace. They got blown off the damn floor in the first quarter. It was insane. Cavaliers didn't even play hard. It looked too easy for them to beat the Lakers. They had no fight in them at all. They started off with D'Lo running the point. He made some decent plays in the beginning of the game. I would say that LeBron had a much better scoring night and stat line probably overall in this particular game, but he still had 6 turnovers. JJ Redick, he does express his disappointment in losing 2 games in a row. After the loss to Phoenix, Anthony Davis actually came out saying that, it's their goal not to lose 2 in a row. That's the mindset for all season. I don't know. Is JJ minding this game? Were JJ and LeBron minding the game the way they were minding that podcast and getting Darvin Ham fired? It didn't look like it to me. So I'm going to play what JJ's reaction was to losing yet another game, back-to-back games against the Cavs.
JJ, it's rare to see LeBron.
Was there anything in the first quarter you noticed, or energy wise, or kind of Cleveland's aggressiveness that you didn't see matched and that carried forward from that point on?
Yeah, they're a really good basketball team. They spread you out, and they have guys with some pop, with Garland and Mitchell, and certainly LeVert and Ty Jerome played great. It's good to see him healthy. I think we just kind of got punched in the mouth a little bit, but we play good teams. You can't afford a lot of mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes. Simple stuff sometimes, low man rotations, not executing our switches early. They did a lot of things that forced us into those mistakes, but if you play a good basketball team, you can't make that many mistakes. And, we got down early and just couldn't recover. And frankly, you get down early and then, you are at a deficit with turnovers. They had 17 more scoring opportunities. They generated 13 more threes. They, beat us plus 33 in the 3-point battle. It was like, we had the lowest crash rate of the season. We had our highest limbo rate of the season. I was like, it's not a winnable game if you do those things. Turn the ball over 20 plus times. Not going to win those games. It's just math. So
when it's that clear and that distinct, you're thinking about when you're going to the next game, do you focus on this game, the film and everything, or is there a part of it that you wash if the effort just wasn't good enough all around?
We're gonna have to watch this film. I mean, just based on the travel, we'll be able to do that. So,
JJ, how was AD look like at some point? He was limping. AR took a knee. Anything of any concern with either of those guys?
I haven't got an update on either of those guys.
One of the things that you've always said about your team is you've always liked their level of compete. Disappointing tonight to see them that kind of maybe vaporize a little bit underneath what Cleveland did.
Yeah, I don't know that it was that. Again, Garland and Mitchell off the dribble gave us a lot of problems. So, you certainly can ask and want to have a little more pride on the basketball. I just, I don't think the focus and attention to detail of what we were trying to do was great tonight. It didn't feel like, it was an effort thing or a competitiveness thing. It was just, kind of a regress, if that makes sense, to a lot of the stuff that we talked about this morning and pregame and some of the stuff we've talked about all season. I think that's where you kind of have to say, okay, well, we need to reemphasize some things and refresh some things, reteach some things, whatever it may be.
With the game out of hand in the fourth quarter, you put Bronny James in. Obviously, this fan base appreciates the James family. They were calling for it a lot of the second half. Just what'd you make of his minutes and him scoring his first bucket back here?
Yeah, I told him congrats. It's a big deal to score your first NBA points, and the fact that he did it back here in Cleveland was cool. I guess that was a bright spot, Dave.
JJ said it. I mean, you can't win games with 20 plus turnovers. LeBron and AD, they had 10 turnovers between the two of them. LeBron had 6. People are so quick to discuss points, rebounds, and assists, but it's never been okay to turn the ball over. LeBron is leading in all-time turnovers and missed shots, and it's difficult to truly contend and win titles being the turnover king. The interesting thing about turnovers is that it's all fine when you're winning, right? Nobody cares about turnovers when you're winning. Turnovers didn't matter, right? But when you lose, they could be the difference in winning a game. And I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, but the Cavs were able to exploit the lack of care for the ball and score on every turnover that LeBron had. When teams score in transition due to you turning the ball over, it erases the assists that you are providing your team. People don't think about assist to turnover ratio. They're just so in love with points, rebounds, and assists, and somehow nothing else matters. What you do on the defensive end doesn't matter. They literally scored at minimum, they scored at least 12 points on those turnovers. But we know that's not true. They were taking threes. They were hitting a lot of threes. And conveniently, the end, I think the point differential was 24 points. So they beat the Lakers by 24 points. If they shot 3-pointers for all 6 of those turnovers, what is that? That's 24 points right there. So, yeah. It's not good. This is not actually good basketball when LeBron plays that way. Bron ball is not winning basketball. Star ball, hero ball, it's not winning basketball until that is what is really required. And teams typically, they agree to that. Coaches will give you that freedom, but you've got to move the ball throughout. You can't selfishly hog the ball and try to take over because you don't feel like you have enough points. That's not team basketball, and that's not conducive to winning teams and getting buy-in from your teammates. And if you guys watch third and fourth quarter very closely, LeBron gets visibly frustrated. He gets visibly angry that they're not setting these screens for him. They literally stood there and watched him struggle. They watched him try to dribble it out. He couldn't do it. And they refused to set those screens. So yeah, I mean, we saw LeBron playing hero ball as they're getting spanked by 30 points. And it seemed ridiculous. Like, hey, let me get my points and my stats since the team didn't want to let me cook in the last game. And, just to let you guys know, LeBron, I don't think he scored under 10 points in, I think, over 15 years. It's been about 15 seasons. I think it hasn't been since 2007 or 2008 since he scored under 10 points in a regular season game. Yeah, we know about the 2011 finals, but regular season games, he did not score less than 10 points in more than a decade, more than 15 years. That's a long time. He knows about his records. He knows about his stat lines. So, in the Cavs game, why not? Let me get my stats. We're already getting blown out. Let me try to get to 30. I believe LeBron was the highest scorer of all players on the floor. Interesting, right? In a loss. That's probably why he wasn't really mad. So the team announced that that he was going to split his time between the G League and the Lakers team after this road trip. I highly doubt that after the opening season game that Laker teammates dreamed or imagined that Bronny would actually be back in the game against the Cavs. Their energy and chemistry was way off. They were getting blown off the floor, and here comes Bronny to check in the game to a standing ovation from the arena. It was insane. They even booed Dalton Connect when he didn't pass to Bronny because he had a wide open dunk. People are literally crazy to me for enjoying bad basketball just to see the king and the prince in NBA games together. Bronny scored 2 points and I believe he recorded 1 steal. And once again, he's next to his dad giving an interview like he's done something deserving to be questioned after a game. Let's hear this. Let's hear it, guys.
He's better than I would have been in that situation. 20,000 fans screaming my name to get in the game and wanting me to be in the game. And if the roles were reversed, I don't know if I would have been able to handle it. So just commend him on, his composure, the way he approaches, not only the game, but just approach, life in general. And, to see him get his first NBA basket in this arena where he grew up not too far away from here. That's an unbelievable moment for him. First of all, for our family, it's just pretty cool to be a part of it.
And then, Bronny, I know you try to stay in these moments, not make them more than what they are. But when did you first dream about getting an NBA basket? And I guess how did the feeling compare to what maybe you thought it would feel like?
Pretty much since I picked the ball up. Been watching this guy for a minute playing in the league, so just dreaming of me being in those players' steps, not only his but playing against and with. So yeah, it was just a dream come true for me. Felt really good. After the fact, I was still in game mode when I hit the shot, so I didn't really acknowledge it while I was playing, but yeah, it felt good after.
Sphere. So what did you see? What did you hear? Who did you see? Kind of one of the memories you think you're going to take away from tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was insane. Much more than I anticipated, for sure. But it's all love. Like it was insane. It was a nice moment. The chance really got me. Like I was straight faced, but like I felt it, and it felt really good. Especially coming from here. But yeah, I mean, it was a special moment for me. For sure.
Many times, obviously. But tonight, when they played the tribute video in the first quarter, it was you and Bronny being welcomed back to Northeast Ohio and being cheered. And how did that hit you when there was a standing ovation for both you guys to get shouted out like that?
It was a pretty cool moment. I didn't really get an opportunity to kind of seize the moment because we was getting our ass drugged at that moment. So I was a little angry. At that point in time during that timeout, so I didn't get an opportunity to really appreciate it. But I heard it, and then when they said his name too, that's when I kind of looked up, and I believe I tapped him on the leg. I believe, that's just pretty cool though.
Last question, Wiley.
For me, in these moments, Bronny and LeBron show zero remorse for getting blown off the floor. LeBron made excuses about it being early in the season and everybody's adjusting. Teams can't adjust to the additional media circus that Bronny brings to an already ridiculous amount of attention that LeBron brings. I was disappointed by this joint interview. I want to see Bronny tell people that he hasn't done anything in this league to be congratulated. I want to see him pivot to talking about his teammates and the great job they're doing. I want to see him more uncomfortable with praise that he's receiving for literally not accomplishing anything. All I hear is, yes, I love the cameras. Continue giving me praise and hype me up when I'm not good. And I haven't accomplished anything except being a gamer and being on the cover of magazines for literally no reason. This is laughable. It felt good to be praised during a blowout. Really, Bronny? That felt good. I do want to know what you guys think about the Lakers. Are they in trouble? Will they go on a losing streak while they're on the road? I'll read some comments before I open up the phone lines. And once again, guys, I'm going to take just one call on this topic, but I want to read some comments. As a Cavs fan, I'm happy to see the team with the strong lead early on for the season. It won't last long, but I'm happy to see it. Honestly, it's really great. It's great to see teams looking like the best team in the league, whether it's to start, whether it's in the middle of the season. I'm excited for what the Cavaliers are going to do. I do believe that it's been a buildup over the last season or two for them to get to this point. So shout out to the Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. They're playing good basketball and they've been exciting to watch. So I'm happy for them and they deserve recognition for sure. Man Down Sports, them Laker boys is tired of this Bronny circus. Oh, for sure. I mean, that Cavaliers game was just so embarrassing. And for you to sit there and be proud as punch of yourself is just, it's shameful. LeBron is the best slasher in b-ball history, but he can't play off the ball. He's not the best slasher in basketball history. He's the best driver. He's the best bum rusher of the lane for sure. And no, he cannot play off the ball. That's not where he shines. Can he do it? Yes, but he doesn't shine in a real offense that moves the ball. He doesn't really move much. He stands around on offense. That's what we saw in Phoenix. That's what we saw against the Cavaliers. So first of all, against Phoenix, he was just pouting. So against Phoenix, he was pouting because he wasn't getting the ball. He wasn't getting his looks. He wasn't getting the touches that he wanted. But D'Lo, he wasn't rewarding him. He was telling him to cut multiple times and he wouldn't move. So if you're not moving, if you're not working for the ball, then you're not going to get it. That seems to be the new culture of the Lakers. That seems to be what LeBron agreed to with the team, and he's not holding up his end of the bargain. So yeah, they froze him out. They froze him out in the Phoenix game. And for you to tell me that your eyes did not see them freezing him out, I don't believe you. Go back and watch it. Just like Kobe said, if you lose in the finals, you're just obviously the first loser. You are already in the finals. Why would you choke? And unfortunately, LeBron chokes. Bron wasted his time not building his bag during the offseason. Now that his athleticism's gone, he's literally useless on the court. I don't think he's useless. I think that he still is athletic and his body has held up for so long. I do want to give him credit for that, for taking care of himself, for being available to play all these years. And now, was he available in the past couple of seasons, more than 50 some odd games? No, I think last season he played 70 or 71 games. But prior to that, prior to the new collective bargaining agreement that requires you to play 65 games plus in order to win awards, LeBron wants to be eligible for awards. Last season, what he did was he played the required amount of games and emailed everybody in the media asking for MVP votes. So he feels like, hey, if I'm going to get out there and play, then I need you guys to reward me. I need MVP. I need something. So, yeah, really interesting stuff. Great comments, guys. Oh, thank you so much, Von Chris. You're awesome. Really appreciate you. I think I saw someone else here. They're from Asia. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everybody, especially staying up late for me, whether it's late or it's early in the morning for you. I really appreciate this group, and you guys have been awesome. So I am going to open up the phone lines. We do have time for one phone call. So I'm really excited to hear from you guys. I'll continue reading some comments until we get some calls in, or at least the one call that I can take before we move to the next topic. I knew LeBron wouldn't let AD stay the number one option for long. I mean, it seems like it's going to be a push and pull situation, Mikey Brass, because the team, they've agreed to this and they're trying to hold LeBron accountable to it. And you should have seen him just grabbing the ball and running down. They were down by 30. What are you doing this for? You're not coming back. It's the fourth quarter. You should be on the bench. But you're worried about your points because the team they're not working for you anymore. They're trying to play team ball and you're trying to remove that. Pat, JJ, Magic, Abdul, Wes, Reddick, in his name, the greatest Laker ever created. I just know that LeBron is not the greatest Laker ever. It's not even close. Do the Lakers look and feel like a team? Having to deal with this Bronny BS has to be affecting team chemistry. Let's see how this plays out in the long run. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. Lumeris Light, thank you for your comment. I just think that it's going to wreck their locker room. If JJ Redick isn't beginning to lose the locker room already due to this just like media spectacle, Bronny and LeBron, they have created a spectacle in the NBA. And they don't care. They don't care that Bronny doesn't have the talent. Turnovers will tank efficiency. Of course, turnovers are bad. They're horrible. There was a time where if you turn the ball over, you would be sitting next to your coach on the bench. But today, there's star ball. There's, folks get the opportunity to shoot bricks and, have inefficient games and turn the ball over, not get back on defense, just stand around on defense, not box out for rebounds. This is the culture in the NBA, and it's not good. This doesn't promote winning titles. This doesn't promote good basketball that people want to watch. It's pathetic. I need to look more into the big three because I want to see real basketball. I want to see competition. I want to see aggression. I want to see hustle. I want to see people doing whatever it takes to win, not standing around begging for a screen like a baby. Okay, guys. I'll throw up the phone number one more time. If anybody wants to call in on this topic, please do. Would love to hear your thoughts. If not, we're going to move on. We'll move on to the next topic. All right. We're all set.